Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about unique inspiration and creativity within fragrance houses. This is going to be a very quick little chit chat with you guys, but it's something I thought would be fun to talk about. So if you'd like to know more about that, then keep watching. Now I'm going to be using mermaids as an example when I talk about in the beginning what I'm talking about in regards to creative inspiration when it comes down to creating fragrances. But this could go for anything, and I'll have a few more examples. The reason why I'm going to be mentioning mermaids is because I actually have two great examples right here. So just for presentation purposes, I'm able to talk about these two and then use that as an example and then kind of go on into my discussion. I like to do these videos because I like you guys to see kind of my thought process when it comes down to scents, because I collect a lot of fragrances, from very expensive fragrances to very affordable fragrances. If a fragrance smells nice on my skin, I'll probably buy it. That's just how I am. But when I'm thinking about mermaids and the creative process of fragrances, I like to see houses have fun. Now, some houses have very specific themes when it comes to them, like zoologists, imaginary authors. There's a bunch of other houses out there that have very real themes when it comes down to the creation of their scents, and I love seeing that. And sometimes the themes are very apparent, and sometimes they're a little bit more subliminal, but that's okay. I like the idea of, especially indie and niche houses, having this freedom to explore outside the boundaries of normal classic compositions and create new and exciting things. I love it. And I wanted to use mermaids as an example because A, it is a cryptid, legendary folklore being, creature, thing, place, mineral, vegetable that is overtly saturated in the market. Most people know what a mermaid is, or have at least heard of a mermaid. They get the basic idea of a mermaid. A lot of people really associate with mermaids, and that's really cool. And some people don't care either way about mermaids. That's fine. But when you think of a mermaid, you think generally a beautiful young woman with the tail of a fish that lives in the ocean. Either is a criminal, it's a siren who lures sailors to their deaths, or is a hero who saves young princes and then grows legs and marries them. There's a lot of folklore around mermaids, and I think that it's really interesting and really cool. Now, when you take the folklore of mermaids and you translate it to an olfactive story, there are a variety of different ways that you can go. You can just create an aquatic scent that's playful and youthful and just slap mermaid on it. Or you can be a little bit more smart with your decisions in regards to how you interpret that feeling, that emotion, that mer person into an olfactive experience. And these two fragrances, I think, do it beautifully. So we have DefineMe Ariel, which is created by DefineMe in collaboration with Disney. And this fragrance is a beautiful aquatic scent. It's woody, it's aromatic, it's a little salty. It smells like a beautiful idealistic beach where you might walk out and there's fog and you just see this like mermaid lounging on a jetty, and then she jumps into the water and you're like, who was that? And this is the smell that would invoke that experience. And then you have Fantasia Mermaid from Anna Sui. Now this one is a beautiful fragrance that not too many people talk about, but I think this is one of the best translations of a mermaid inspired fragrance. First, the bottle is really, really cute. Can we talk about how pretty her bottles are? Her bottles are always just top notch for presentation of just being really whimsical, enchanting, and playful. But the fragrance in here is really nice. It is a beautiful mix of these very youthful, again, playful, fun fruits and citruses, and it has this aquatic, salty, like core to it. And what I like about that is it kind of smells like a mermaid's personality, a mermaid that's maybe while you're rowing your boat is like jumping over you and splashing water on you and being a mischievous little mer person. And it smells really beautiful, but it has that, again, that salty aquatic core to it. And I love that because it's taking in account not just an aquatic fragrance, but taking into account that mermaids are generally thought to be saltwater beings in the ocean. So if they're going to be associated with an aquatic fragrance, having that kind of salty core to both of these scents, to me, really anchors in the fact that these are not just aquatic, youthful fragrances, but they're centered around mermaids. And I love that core to these scents, that base to these scents, because that again is a great way to translate this enchanting, beautiful, unique, legendary cryptid into a wearable, beautiful complementary fragrance. It's just a great translation in a very positive and successful way. And I like seeing fragrance houses do that, either bigger houses that have a lot of money behind them, or smaller niche houses that have a little bit more leeway to be a little bit more creative with their creations. I like seeing when people just break away from these types of scents and do something unique and different, especially when it falls in line with a creative concept. Zoologist is probably the easiest example for me to talk about, because with zoologist fragrances, you have fragrances that are either inspired by the habitat where these animals live, or the lifestyle and the food or the feelings that these animals evoke. And so you have these kind of literal translations of habitat or feelings to an olfactive experience. And I think that's one of the reasons why Zoologist is so successful, because they're using very well-known compositions, but they're using it in a unique and different way. They're taking risks with some of their notes. They're taking risks with some of the boundaries that they're breaking in regards to the types of fragrances they create. And they're being rewarded for their creativity because people want that. And that's what I like to see in the fragrance world. I don't care if you're a $20 bottle of perfume or $200 bottle of perfume. I want to see houses taking risks, and taking risks does not mean smelling challenging. Taking risks does not mean saying that I'm going to smell in a way that nobody's going to like me. I think that these fragrances are great examples of taking risks, of adding a very salty note to fragrances that are more designed to be playful, youthful, and like fruity. But it comes together in a correct way that smells really complimentary and beautiful. That's what I mean when I say risk-taking in fragrances. I don't mean smell bad. I mean, you have the opportunity to really create something special, do it. And that doesn't mean that every fragrance has to be that way. Not every fragrance has to be avant-garde. Not every fragrance has to be challenging. Not every fragrance has to be risky. I love a good woody aromatic. I love a really gorgeous, just floral bouquet. I don't need every fragrance to be this artistic, pushing the boundaries fragrance, but it is really wonderful to see when some fragrance houses do that. And that's why I wanted to kind of talk about in this video. I love when fragrance houses have this creative inspiration behind either a fragrance or their entire line, and I think it's something to be celebrated. So I just kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit today, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to know what your guys' thoughts are on specifically kind of creatively inspired fragrances in regards to multimedia or maybe fantasy, or just anything else in general, spirituality. I'd love to know what you guys think on the topic. Let me know in the comment section below. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.